Welcome back to the news at 10. Nigeria may not meet its desire for food security if it continues to depend on rain-fed agriculture. Now that's the position of the Minister for Water Resources, Mrs. Grace Ochepe, who says there's a need to explore other forms of boosting food production. To this end, she says the federal government is committed to implementing the National Irrigation Policy and Strategy. The country representative of the Food and Agriculture Organization is, however, of the opinion that unless the policies and strategies are implemented over a long period, it may be difficult to meet the food needs of the country.
We are aware of the government's commitment to transform the agricultural sector to ensure that we have enough to eat, enough to store, and enough also to export so that we can increase the income levels of our farmers and the nation. And for us to be able to do this effectively, rain-fed agriculture would not, provide us with this desire and will not help us meet these objectives that we've laid for ourselves. And that is why irrigated agriculture is very important. And so for us to be able to effectively engage in irrigated agriculture, we must develop appropriate policies that involves everybody, all stakeholders need to participate in it.
We need to make sure that for us to be able to make an impact in the agriculture sector and in developing the irrigation sector, long investments to be able to make sure that programs and projects are completed, to make sure that we put the management structures in place, to make sure that those who are responsible for the maintenance of these structures are well equipped with the skills and the know-how and the facilities that they need to maintain the irrigation structures.
Good evening. It's time to take you through our business stories this hour. I am Adeshewa Josh. The high lending rate in Nigeria has been attributed to the country's import dependency nature. The GMD CEO of First City Monument Bank, Mr. Ladi Balogun, who spoke to Channels Television at the Ogun State Investors Forum, said there is the need for the country to cut down on its imports.
Nigeria is very much an import-dependent country, so you'll find that if exchange rates go out of control, more people would suffer than with interest rates being relatively high. So it's a choice we have to make. Do we want stable exchange rates or do we want low interest rates? I think that it's possible. You may ask why maybe in other countries they have both stable exchange rates and low interest rates. It's really a case of making sure that structurally we change the economy. We have to ensure that we export more as a country, which means plugging all leakages of oil production. We also have to diversify to non-oil exports, so not looking at things like solid minerals, looking at other sort of finished goods that we can export as a country. And we have to ensure that we import less, so we start producing more and more of the things that we are currently importing.
Well, some stockbrokers have expressed confidence in the sustainability of the 13 trillion naira market capitalization of the Nigeria Stock Exchange, saying the Bourse can maintain the feat both in the short and medium term. They also attribute the recent favorable market trend to the new listing on the Bourse.
The market is experiencing, not really experiencing bubbles, but what is happening is that there are a lot of new listings in the market. Carroting, Seplant, and all those stuff. Or most of those people that did private placement prior to 2008 and 2008 till date most of them are now listing both in ASEM and in the main board. So all these things contributes to the upsurge in our capitalization.
I can see that line, that psychological line, being broken not too long from now. It is, if the economy does well, that is when you have more people coming into the market. So I can see the market still moving higher from the point at which it crossed yesterday to a much more higher level. Why am I saying that? It's simple. The interest is growing. And I believe a lot of companies are still coming to list on the floor.
And it's time to check out closing figures from the Nigerian Stock Exchange with Temple Ashaju.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Reports. The Nigerian equities market sustained the positive momentum recorded yesterday as the key indicators ended the week higher. The all-share index gained 0.71% after the whole trading ended at 39,833.94. Market capitalization also ended higher at 13.15 trillion naira. Forte Oil, Mobil, and Nigerian breweries were the session's price appreciators. On the flip side, investors gave Sim Capital Alliance, Okomo Oil, and FCMB the cold shoulder. Transcorp was the day's major contributor to market volume, followed by Owando and FCMB. At the end of Friday's trade, volume came in at 198.02 million units exchanged in 5,187 deals, all for 3.09 billion naira. And that has been the Stock Market Report. I am Temple Ashaju.
And that's business news this hour. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
On the news at 10, 4 schools qualify for the quarterfinals of the 2014 Channels National Kids Cup. That's on Sports News. Please stay with us.